something in my body carries a remnant of my parents. This is what is called a gene. Now, let us take an example. I am a product of my parents. I have the characteristics of my mother as well as father. My mother resembles her mother and father, my maternal grandmother and grandfather. My father resembles his father and mother, my paternal grandmother and grandfather. My maternal grandfather has many similarities with my maternal great grandparents and so on. Let us say I belong to generation X. My parents are generation X minus 1. Their parents or my grandparents are generation X minus 1 minus 1, that is X minus 2. And their parents, my great grandparents, are generation X minus 2 minus 1, that is X minus 3. Now, if we compare two continuous generations, say generation X and generation X minus 1, the similarities are greater than the dissimilarities. What if we take generation X minus 2 and generation X minus 3? We will still find that these generations have a lot of similarities. Dissimilarities are rare. Two continuous generations hence exhibit a significant continuity in their characteristics. Now, let us take two discontinuous generations. In other words, there is a gap between them. If we compare generation X with generation X minus 3, the dissimilarities are greater in comparison to the previous example where we considered continuous generations. In a jump of 4 generations, the differences have turned out to be greater than a jump of 1 generation.
After formation of zygote and its activation, we will discuss the significance of fertilization. Alright. Now, next is site of fertilization. So, write it. It is the ampullary isthmic junction of ampullary double L hyphen isthmic junction of oviduct. Because this ampulla, it is the curve widest part. So, there only fusion of gametes carried on. So, it is the ampullary isthmic junction of oviduct or fallopian tube.
About pollen grains. Pollen grains has got 2 cell stage and 3 cell stage. In 2 cell stage, one your vegetative cell, another one is your generative cell. In 3 cell stage, one vegetative cell and the generative cell divide by mitosis to form 2 male gametes. That one we have read. Now, what is the fate of that 2 male gametes? Now we are going to read. Now, when the pollen grains land on the stigma, then it develops pollen tube. Then pollen tube contain 2 male gametes. That 2 male gametes has to enter into the embryo sac. Now, who will help in guiding the male gamete to enter into the embryo sac? Now, we know at the embryo sac, at the micropylar end, which is the opening end, 3 cells are present. That 3 cells are called as egg apparatus. In that egg apparatus, one is called as egg cell, another 2 are called synergid. That synergid thickens to form filiform apparatus. That filiform apparatus will help in guiding the pollen tube to enter into the embryo sac. Then after only the 2 male gamete can fertilize. Filiform apparatus help in guiding the pollen tube into the embryo sac. Now we have 2 male gamete. One male gamete fertilizes with the egg cell to form zygote, and that process is called as syngamy. As we know, male gamete is N and the egg cell is N, so zygote is diploid 2N, and that fertilization is called as syngamy, and the zygote is diploid.
Current electricity starts with, as per your syllabus or a textbook, it starts with that word electric current. Okay, so forget about electric current. You just think about current. So who can tell me what is current? Dictionary meaning of current. It's not electric current, it's only current. What is current?
The flow of charges.
No, that is for electric current. I'm telling current. Sometimes we are also telling water current is very high. Okay, sometimes we are also telling heat current in our thermodynamics. We are writing rate of flow of heat as also heat current. H was Q by T. And water current also there. Sometimes that water current inside that sea is very high. So you must have seen that, what is that called? That concept of Bermuda Triangle, okay, where water current remains in eddies form. Once that eddies form, that is most of the ships are not visible there. Once they enter into Bermuda Triangle, there also water current concept is there. So what is current? Current means definitely there is a rate of flow. Rate of flow means something that is flowing, which causes the medium to move also. Okay, if it is water moving, water particles are moving, then that is water current. And in heat, their fermions are moving, that is heat current. So similarly, here also something they are moving. Okay, otherwise only vacuum, the current cannot be generated. Only vacuum, for that displacement current required, change in electric field required. Your lightning is one type of displacement current. It can be generated in absence of the medium also, but we are not going to that displacement current or what is required in absence of your medium. We are now here basically concentrating on the conduction current. So conduction current means it is electric current for you as a beginner, because after that there are many type of current you are going to face. Okay, so for beginners it is electric current.
Suppose a partner withdrew 10,000 every month. So first 10,000 he used for how many months? 12 months. Second 10,000 he used for 11 months. Third 10,000 he used for 10 months. In this way he is going on using 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 like this. Okay. So will you calculate the interest on drawings of the first 10,000 for 12 months, then again for the second 10,000 for 11 months, then 10 months, 9 months like this? Will you do that? No. Will you calculate the interest on drawings for, will you calculate the interest on drawing 12 times? Will you calculate the interest on drawings 12 times? Calculate the 12 times? No. So therefore what happens is you need to calculate an average period, which is given here as 6.5 months when you are withdrawing at the beginning of the month. Then again it is 5.5 months if you are withdrawing at the end of the month, and it is 6 months if you are withdrawing at the middle of the month.
The rectangular arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. The rectangular arrangement of numbers, or you can say letters from rows and columns, is called a matrix. Okay. So now here you see the screen. Now A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements are written in rectangular form and square brackets are given. So this is the way to denote to write a matrix. Either you can put square brackets or you can put moon brackets also to denote a matrix. Okay. So now come to the order. So what is the order of this matrix? So what do you mean by order first? The number of rows into the number of columns. Okay, that is called the order. So now in this case the number of rows is 2. There are 2 rows and 3 columns. That's why we can say the order of the matrix is 2 cross 3. Okay. Then next, for example, so now one thing also we can see from this, that if you multiply 2 into 3, what is that? 6, and you will find if you multiply these two elements, you will find 6 elements are there in the matrix. Okay, so if you multiply both the elements, you find the number of elements. But from this element, from this 2 cross 3, you can say the number of rows is 2, number of columns is 3. Okay, then next come to one example. So if a matrix has 5 elements, find the possible orders. This is a question in the board. If a matrix has 5 elements, then find the possible orders. Okay, so what are the possible orders? So now 1 cross 5 or 5 cross 1, since because number of elements is 5, so if you multiply 1 into 5, 5 into 1, 5, so that's why the possible orders are 1 into 5 or 5. Similarly, there is another question. If a matrix has 24 elements, then find the possible orders. Okay, so now what are the possible orders? 1 into 24, 24 into 1, 2 into 12, 12 into 2, 3 into 8, 8 into 3, 4 into 6, 6 into 4. Okay, so these are the possible orders.
Own hydrogen, so that this bond will come back to this oxygen. Because oxygen is deficient, we have a plus, it has used its electrons. Now what is the product that you will get? We will get CH3, CH2, O, CH2 and CH3. Already we have got water and H2SO4 is removed. Now see, we said that we are doing the dehydration of ethanol. So dehydration means removal of water. Now here the water is removed. First step. We are using acid catalyzed dehydration. When we say catalyzed, that means the catalyst that we have used should be removed. So H2SO4 is removed as it is. It take part in the reaction or not? No. It doesn't take part in the reaction. It only helps to carry out the reaction, but finally it is removed as it is. And the final product is this one. This product is ether, which we get. Clear? So everyone is clear with this? This is your dehydration of ethanol. So limitation we have to remember. I'll make it a short note. That is ethanol. If the question comes, is treated with concentrated H2SO4. If the reaction occurs at concentrated H2SO4, then we have to remember two temperatures. One is 413 Kelvin. At a lower temperature, it will give rise to ether, and 443 Kelvin. At a higher temperature, it gives rise to ethene. But in both the cases, you will give water as the byproduct. Am I clear? Okay.
Can anyone say, please, what is database? Okay, you can raise your hands also, no problem. Yes. Yes, that's the correct answer. Database is an organized collection of related information. It is such a record keeping system where data is stored in a organized manner. Why do you store data in organized manner? Because if the data will be stored in the organized manner, then it can be easily retrieved and manipulated as per our requirement. That is our main motto behind to keep the data in a database. Now come to advantages of database. So here are some of the advantages. First is data redundancy. Second, sharing of data. Third, data security. 4, integrity can be maintained. 5, database enforce standards. 6, data inconsistency. So let me explain one by one these points. Now first is data redundancy. Data redundancy means what, children? Suppose in a database we are storing different types of data, but sometimes we need to store the same data again. But while storing data by mistakenly, which is not required, but we are storing it. Okay, so to stop these problems, what we will do, we have to set some of the integrity. What is integrity here exactly? Integrity is a set of constraints. If you apply these constraints, then database can be more secure and same data cannot be entered again. For example, let's take an example. Suppose we are going to enter the roll number. If the roll number is 1 entered, 2 entered, 3 entered, 4 entered, 5. Suppose 5 by mistakenly I entered once and again by mistakenly I entered twice. So it should not be 5 should be entered once. But if I enter 5 again, it will accept. But it is wrong actually. So what should I do so that it will not accept that 5 again? That is called data redundancy. By this feature, you cannot enter any duplicate data further. Okay, it protects from entering duplicate data in your database.
Benefits of division of work or benefits of specialization. So the organization make clears a division of work. Then while the whole task of the organization is divided and given to the different departments who are able to take that responsibility to complete that task. So every job is assigned to the right person. So generally it means putting the right person at the right job. If someone having the knowledge in production field, if that type of job is given to that individual, then it will help them to increase their efficiency and also help them to complete the tasks with a proper time period. So this scientific and classification of job result in specialization also it help us to give the work to be completed within the proper time. So division of work means here this picture, this one division of work. If someone is good in finance department, so she is handling about the finance related activities, and someone is good in HR activity, so HR related job is assigned to that person, and someone is good at sales and marketing, so she is going or he is going to handle that type of job.
Intentional tort. In your previous class, we had a discussion on what is tort. Okay, tort is a civil wrong, or we can say tort is the violation of someone's private right. Okay, civil right of a person. That's why we say tort is a civil wrong. Okay, or we can say tort is that wrongful act which causes injury to the claimant or to the victim. The person who commits tort is called tortfeasor. Okay, or we can say the defendant is called tortfeasor and the victim is called claimant or plaintiff. Now, when the last class I told you that there are three kinds of torts. First one is intentional tort, second one is negligence, and third one is strict liability. Okay, strict or absolute liability.
This demonetization you can see in the screen. Demonetization is a situation where the central bank of the country withdraws the old currency notes of certain denomination as an official mode of payment. As I have told you, this is what? This is withdrawing the status from legal tender.
In this Tiger King written by Kalki, in the first paragraph, in the first initial lines, you will be finding the introduction of the Tiger King. And what exactly is mentioned in the introduction of the Tiger King? That he was described as mad, crack, crazy. Okay, and the different titles awarded to this, Tiger King. Like, Jilani Jang Jang Bahadur, Satyagraha Samhari. Okay, so these are the, high sounding titles. These are awarded to or entitled to this Tiger King. And how exactly he got that name and became a very famous king or popularly known as Tiger King, it is described in the initial lines. What happened after that in the story?
After the first paragraph?
Yes, after whatever I have narrated, after that what happened?
After the narrator have given a brief introduction of the Maharaja, the Tiger King, we are next went to the event where the Tiger King was first born. In that, many chief astrologers and other astrologers started predicting the future of their prince who is newly born. It was very astonishing event because they witnessed a 10-year-old child speaking, which was really unusual event. And then only the not only that child can speak only after 10 days, but also can talk like a mature human being and give point of views like a king, which astonished everyone. And there only chief astrologer predicted that one day a tiger will be the cause of the death of the tiger king. And in that paragraph, the infant prince boldly replied to the chief astrologer that before the tiger could kill him, he will one day surely defeat the tiger.
Okay.
So this happened in the later on event.
Okay. So is there anybody who wants to proceed the story? What happened after that? Is there anybody who can hear my voice? Can continue the story?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can continue the story afterwards.
Ma'am, when the Maharaja was getting older day by day, when he turned 20, he became the king, and he was aware of his death that was predicted by an astrologer that he will be killed by a tiger.
By the 100
And-
number of tiger particularly.
And he want to prove that.
Wrong. Hello, Debasri, I guess you have some network issue. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue.
Then the king wanted that the prediction should be proved false.
Then?
After when he started killing tigers.
Okay. And in between, what happened? Within 10 years, the Maharaja was able to kill 70 tigers, isn't it? Am I right? Am I right, students?
Yes, ma'am. Before that one event took place. Yes, ma'am. And before that one event took place where where Maharaja went after killing his first tiger, he went to the chief astrologer to boast out about his recent kill, and there only he let the chief astrologer know that he will kill 100 tiger too. But there only the chief astrologer promised that he shall cut off his stuff, crop his hair short, and become an insurance agent if his prediction will become wrong.
Okay, very nice. Then after that, what happened? After killing the 100 number of tigers, unforeseen hurdle came into his target of killing 100 tigers.
Discuss about the obesity. That actually I told you from the beginning that by asanas how we can manage some lifestyle diseases. So first disease on which we are going to discuss that one, your obesity. So what does mean obesity? Now obesity is that condition of the body in which the amount of fat increases to extreme level. In other words, obesity can be defined as the condition when an individual weighs 20% more than the ideal weight. So after taking your own data, that is your height and weight, you have to measure yourself. And after that, you have to follow the guidelines of World Health Organization. So it has given the range. If it is less than 18.5, you are underweight. If it is 18.5 to 24.9, you are normal weight. If it is more than 25 to 29.9, that is overweight. And after that, from 30 to 34.9, that is obesity 1. Obesity 1. And next is obesity 2. So like that, when you become the obesity, you have a lot of problem may affect you. What are the problem? Now especially those obese people became the prey of diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, cancer, arthritis, flat foot, and respiratory problems. So usually obesity people are more prone to this type of diseases if they not maintain their day-to-day activity and if they do not take care about their diet. So that is why we have to take care that how can you manage the obesity.